welcome back to the Eastern Business Report. I am Cherry Ojukwu. In the Southeast, our commercial strength has historically been built on manual grit and face-to-face trust. But as the cost of doing business rises and margins tighten, raw effort is no longer enough to scale. Today, we are discussing the automation of small African business in Southeast Nigeria. We are looking beyond basic software and examining how true digital automation connects merchants directly to logistics, structured customer data, and transparent governance to create a highly efficient economy. Joining me to navigate this transition is Mr. Chidubem Anowor, General Manager of Enugu State Technology Hub, founder and CEO of Pine Business Grow. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, so many businesses or many business owners in the Southeast believe they are automated because they use WhatsApp for orders or Google Form for invoices. Pine Business Grow champions an ecosystem model that connects the business, the customer, logistics, and government. Why is isolated software failing our SMEs? And why is an interconnected ecosystem the necessary next step?
Okay, so thank you for that question. So the mindset about automation is how do I put this? Is I think it's subjective, particularly around the Southeast uniquely. People are usually very adverse to even accepting technology. WhatsApp in itself was a big problem for the people in the Southeast because there is a very low trust level for what the role that automation or technology can play for them. I'll give you a quick example. When the point of sale terminals that now currently transverse the length and breadth of payment systems, when they came into being, it took a while for people to be able to convert, to be able to accept that. And I'm speaking to people in the Southeast essentially. So the first thing you see is fear, mindset that we need to address. But for us at Pine Business Grow, what we realized was that the problems that most small businesses in Africa have are mostly operational, mostly structural, but they are almost always in silos. People are trying to address those problems, looking at them one and separating them from the other. But we took our time to pay attention to the actual African psychology. And Nigeria, there's no better place to use as a litmus test than the Nigerian market in its entirety.
Yes.
And then we realized that the connection in all of these things is the network relationship. There is no merchant today that is not concerned about the beneficiary of his product, which probably will be the consumer customer. And there is no business owner that is doing anything that has to be trade-based, that is not also concerned about how this product gets to the customer, whether it is when the customer walks into his premise or whether the customer can get it when he doesn't come to his premise. So logistics plays a big critical role. Now, most of the African businesses have always put government in the background. They never considered that things like tax and things like our social commitments to contributing in such things were critical. And so they saw tax and they saw all the things about government from a from a perspective of no value or very limited value. So what we did was to build a platform that shows the merchant owner how to connect to these things in terms of the ecosystem. You look at the customers and look at how you connect to the customers in every possible way. How you connect to them when they come to you, how you can go to them, how you can bridge, how the different kind of customers can exist, whether the ones that are virtual or physical, and how to create a link between them. So that's where the logistics plays. And you don't expect a business owner who has just started a business with 1 million naira to start worrying firstly about how to go start marketing customers. No, that is not his expectation. That's not what he wants to see. His interest is how many people will work here. You don't also worry about how he's going to take this to people who are not coming. He's waiting till after 2 or 3 years when his business will have matured. He doesn't see it is possible for businesses to mature in 60 days. If a platform is automated, giving him access to ecosystems that he didn't plan for in one place. So for us, instead of building or connecting these things in silos, we decided to build a platform that connects these ecosystems in one place, networking them to everything they critically need as an African business, and providing them with the automation they need to solve their endemic, unique problems of access, control, operations, and data management, data structure. That's it.
Very well, very well. So our region is famous for massive, high-density cluster markets. How do we practically design and deploy automation tools that accommodate the unique, fast-paced, and often chaotic reality of a cluster market under a cluster market trader, rather than forcing them into a rigid Western software model?
Thank you. So this is what we are doing at Pine Business School. Unlike the conventional Western digital automation solutions that have already provided regimented or pre-structured frameworks, architecture that they are expecting these people to follow through, because they are saying that they want you to use this model because it's what will help you. What we are doing is listening to the market owner. So when we walk into these cluster markets, we want to listen to how their business is done. We don't want to change the flow of how their businesses are done. Yeah. We are listening to how those businesses are done and automating the way that business is done without actually changing the flow. Now, remember that the concern around a Southeast businessman is change. Mm-hmm. His model is age long. We're talking about hereditary. We're talking about eons of apprenticeship. You have to stay, you have to work, you have to learn over a period of years, you have to sell. Mm-hmm. I give you, you give me money. Only recently credit started coming. Now, if you listen to that, there is also the negotiation. We call it the price hiking. The equal that makes it different. The reason why people go to cluster markets over a supermarket is because they want to be able to participate in equal. I have to query the thing on, right? I have to query on, and people think it's a small thing, but it's a big deal, and that's what the cluster markets are over the supermarkets. That's why you walk into that. That's why people will go into that place, regardless of the push and draw that happens there, just to spend 2 hours equal. Yeah, so if you factor that in what you're doing, then you listen. So the point is, for me, what we're doing at Pine Business School is listening to what they're doing. And rather than build a model that they just use, we stay and listen and we do constant iterations. As we're listening, we're remodeling, as we're listening, and we're fitting it into what they listen to. And I think that basically that essentially helps the African businessman, particularly the cluster markets, to start the journey to acceptance. The journey to acceptance, when they see that you're not necessarily trying to change everything. Some things will change, obviously, but you're not trying to change everything. And then you're able to build a trust model in what you're doing and sell that first before anything you're doing. That's basically what I think will work for cluster markets.
Yes, okay. So there is often a deep distrust, like you mentioned earlier, between small businesses and government, particularly regarding taxation and enforcement. Your platform integrates a government ecosystem for transparent records and self-assessment.
Yes.
How does automation reduce the friction and fear associated with tax remittance for the everyday entrepreneur?
Now, the way we sold this we sell it to the onboardees on our platform is this: the access that is granted in the relationship between the merchant and government is not merchants to government. We're not giving government access to the merchants. We're giving merchants access to the government. Mm. We're telling the merchants that, look, there is nothing to worry about. Government is not wanting to know you. It is you that needs to know them. It is you and which is why, one, you can first of all self-assess what you're doing. Secondly, those that 2-3 things that you know that you've accepted that you know you owe government, you can seamlessly do it to government at your own time in your own way without having to travel there or without having them to ever visit you. Once you're able to do self-assessment, you're able to articulate what you want, what you need to give to them. Why? Because you've automated most of the critical aspects of your business you didn't even know was possible. You're getting it at almost no cost at all. We are deploying everything and giving you everything almost free. And whatever it is you're paying for is even negotiable. The goal for us is to critically mass people on the platform to be able to automate. Now, if we win that war in that market, then the bigger picture is now critical mass. Critical mass, that's where it comes in. Now, if people stop looking at government as if it's something that they should run from, or it's something they can go to, and it's not something that has to find them, and they can find them when they want, then you see we've already started working on the bias. We're creating an anti-bias against what government and the expectation or the implication of a government of government in your business is you will only see government as one of your customers. That's even why we're selling government to them. So you build a self-assessment model that they can use. It is AI driven. It basically it's trained to listen to all the things they're doing and recommend areas of improvement in terms of revenue. It articulates what they are able to do and some of the gaps. With that, it's able to tell them, okay, with this is what you have earned and this is how you can separate it. It even creates a way for them to be able to move and ship this money and swipe this money to government seamlessly without having government to come to them. Now, that in itself gives them a sense of leverage, not something that counters the original fear that has been inherent in this relationship between merchants and government for the longest of time. That's it.
All right. So just one more question before we close for today. For the traditional business owner watching right now, who manages everything on paper and is intimidated by the cost of technology, what is the very first low-risk process they must automate today to immediately see a return on their investment?
I think the first thing they need to automate in their business is the access and control, the ability for them to be able to have a platform that gives them digital control over the different aspects of their business. Okay. Now, there are businesses that are driven by warehousing, and warehousing can be called stores, they can be called all kinds of things. But those businesses are driven because there is a particular place where most of the raw materials or raw products or real products are stored, and from there they are distributed. Now, if you're able to control that and have permanent oversee digital control without having you to physically oversee them, and you can manage what everybody sees, you can see it in real time all the time, that is the first thing they should do. The second probably will be how you now manage your relationship with the beneficiaries. So I would think that the first thing they will do is, if they find a platform like ours that is ready to give it to them at no cost at all, and I mean no cost at all, to be able to automate those parts of their business without having to worry about going to buy this or buy that, buy inventory, buy this. You have a one-stop shop that allows you to automate your entire warehousing, whether it's inventory, whether it's your store. Every business has one powerhouse. We start from the powerhouse, automate it, give you control. Give you control over the people who have access to it. Once you're able to have that, then you start feeling the semblance of what was lost. You see the difference between what you are not accounting for and what you're currently accounting for. You see why certain transactions are not doing as well as the others, because they are piling and others are not piling. And once you start having insights of something you didn't know, you see how amazing it is to just use a digital platform to provide you insights about something and give you control, and that already propels you into understanding, next steps in terms of engaging with the beneficiaries or the other ecosystems that you may decide to use, like leveraging the relationship or the tunnel between you and the people who you are selling or giving whatever it is, like logistics. So yes, that part will be the first thing they should start with.
Right. Very well. Thank you so much. This session has really been very insightful, and that's the much that we can take on the Eastern Business Report. Yeah. So the Afri-Business Morning returns tomorrow. Many thanks for staying with us. My name is Cherry Ojukwu.
Thank you very much.
Coming up. Bye for now.